I want to say thank you very much for coming this evening. Take time out of your very busy schedules to be here. I hope that I have the opportunity to share with you something that you might find useful. Um, so to start with, basically, this is the introduction to my channel, myself, and what I plan to do with the channel. Um, but life is unexpected, so we'll see what happens. But going forward, my name's Keith Dougherty. I'm an ex-Navy vet. Um, I have been in sales for 32 years. I have found myself in the top 5% of sales in various different industries over the past 32 years. 15 for the past 15 years or so, I have been a degreed and certified accountant. I've worked as a forensic accountant. I've worked uh, doing taxes, small business accountant. So maybe here, be able to give you some advice for those 1099 employees as well as small business owners, to be able to help manage your business and move forward. As well as, let's see. Oh yeah, I'm a survivor of a massive coronary as well. We'll kind of get into that. It makes for an interesting experience, um, in life, only being 51. Yeah, only 51 years old and having suffered two massive coronaries. Um, so guys, no matter how healthy you think you are, talk to your doctor about your heart. Um, so when you're starting a business, you're doing a 1099, um, or just in your career yourself, you of course have goals, 3-year goals, 5-year goals, 10-year, whatever you have set. You have goals. Part of the reason why you do want to set those goals, um, is to be able to um, plan for the ups and downs that all small businesses go through. Whether you're 1099, small business, even some businesses, you have those ups and downs, those peaks and valleys. So planning goals will be able to help with that and set that up. To make it a little easier, it makes you more efficient when you're working. Having a goal, you are able to know your deadlines, um, as well, and are most people are able to get like 80% of the work done ahead of time when they do have goals set, um, and able to move forward. So one of the other things, when you want to know the goals that you're setting aren't really outrageous for you either. You want to know that you can obtain those goals, that they're reasonable. Now, there's nothing wrong with having big, hairy, audacious goals. As a matter of fact, I encourage people to do it. But you also want to set goals that are obtainable and reasonable as well, that you know you can obtain, but a little bit higher than what you know. To again help motivate you, make you a little bit more efficient in your work to get to those higher goals. Um, One of the other things we'll take a look at is I also encourage people. You need to keep score. I know a lot today. They say, "Oh no, don't keep score. Everybody gets a participation trophy." Um, and equitable outcomes. And anyways, keep score. Keeping score allows you to know where you're at on your goals, how you're doing as far as obtaining your goals or where your business is at. You also are able to look at how you're doing with your competition in your industry, and even sometimes just for giggles, how your competition is doing. Not necessarily in your industry. That's more in reference to, again, I've done sales, kind of looking at how other salesmen are doing, as well, always wanting to be, top 5%, top 2%, um, and even higher than that. So it's always a goal I've always personally shot for, as well. Um, so you also, uh, when we look into that a little bit more, I'm hoping here very soon here, I'll have together a video that covers a 90-day tracking sheet, 90-day challenge. I'm sure you've heard it here and there, whether you're 1099 or whatnot. It's really good to keep in mind a 90-day tracking sheet not just for keeping score, but to remind you to pay your taxes every quarter. Because again, when you're self-employed, you don't want those taxes sneaking up at you on the end of the year. Find yourself a good tax consultant, someone you trust, to help you with those estimated taxes on a quarterly basis as well. Um, I'm hoping here later we'll have a guest speaker. I know a couple tax specialists as well that we can go ahead and we'll interview and ask some questions about hopefully here with regards to how to prepare and plan for your taxes. Um, Trust me, and I'm hearing lately that Joe Biden is planning to hire double the amount of IRS agents to specifically look for people who are not paying your taxes. And in the end, there's an accounting joke, and it basically goes, okay, what's the difference between tax evasion and tax avoidance? One's legal. Um, so there you are with that. Just a minor joke, accounting humor. So, with Biden getting more tax accountants, I highly recommend everybody to look into it. Um, and there's a few other things we'll go over as we go on. If you're starting your own business for your 1099, um, uh, there's some good advantages for small business owners that you can find out there. You also want to hold yourself accountable. A 90-day tracking sheet is really good at being able to hold yourself accountable, and as well, well, why didn't you make your goals, or how short were you, or what could you have done just a little bit better? Yeah, if possible. Was there anything you could have done a little bit better? If not, then it allows you to adjust your goals, the reasonable goals I was talking about. But you still want to keep working towards those big, hairy, audacious goals of yours. Um, as well. Man, I'm sounding like Jen Psaki with the and eh. Just wait, it'll get better. um, One of the other things is, as I said, goals help to maximize your efficiency when you're working towards something, or just work in general, matter of production. Again, I've been in sales a lot, so for me, it's staying efficient, knowing how many sales I need to make whatever goal I'm working for. Um, by whatever date. I'm an accountant. I like my deadlines. And speaking of being an accountant and liking my deadlines, I'm hoping moving forward to be able to put out 2 videos a week at the very least. One on Tuesdays, to have it posted by about 8 Mountain Central Time, or Mountain Standard Time, and possibly one on Sundays as well. So we'll see how that works moving forward. But that's the idea. Just general advice on business. Well, no financial advice. I cannot give you financial advice, not unless you're paying me. No, seriously. So I technically can't give financial advice. I am giving ideas on how to become a lot more successful in your business as an entrepreneur, such as myself. Um, because I've been, again, being in sales in one form or another, I've technically been self-employed for that long too. On and off, of course, things happen, I admit. So the next thing I want to look at here, is what people's misconceptions regarding what success is. Um, because even having it like that can set you off as well. So let's take a look at what some people consider to be successful. Um, let's start with who wouldn't mind having the wealth of Warren Buffett? I mean, I know I'd love having the wealth of Warren Buffett. Dude's got more money than him and his family will ever know what to do with. Um, or the build of oil. Well, my notes are a little dated here. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, come on, he's a little old now. I mean, 80s, aren't he? I wouldn't mind. Dwayne the Rock Johnson. More. Of course, I'd rather be looking like Henry Cavill, since he seems to be the dude that's going to be making all the money right now. Having, I just found out that he's going to be doing the reboot for Highlander, which is gonna be interesting, especially in this day and age. So I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed to see how true they stick to the original, which happens to be one of my favorite movies. Um, how about the intelligence of Stephen Hawking? I mean, that man alone has some, just the intelligence that he has. Um, or the athletic skills. See again, Jenner. We'll just leave it at Jenner. I mean, does Jenner still get to keep the 3 gold medals? I'm a little confused about that one, but and, um, the athletic skill of Michael Jordan. He does have skills. Um, or the creativity of George Lucas, Star Wars again. They're just beautiful masterpieces. Not the Disney stuff. The Disney stuff just needs to go away and be forgotten down a deep dark hole. Um, and the prequels. Well, again, they weren't. They're made for kids. I would have liked to have seen a few things, got to see some of the things I saw. But in overall, I think he should have just left Vader alone. Vader was such an impressive bad guy that even James Colburn, who he is, couldn't really stand up to him. How about this? For success, social graces and the social graces of Lady Crawley from Downton Abbey. Yes, I do watch it. It's a cool show. There's a lot to be learned if you look at it with the right perspective on that show. Really beautiful, for the way it's written, especially when you compare it to a lot of the stuff we're getting these days, as far as shows and stuff. Uh, or how would you like to have now? This man's imagination may not have been the best. Well, I think it's the best. I mean, to take the concept of a cartoon character and turn it into amusement parks. Yes, I'm talking about the imagination of Walt Disney. I mean, that's success right there. Nowadays Disney, of course, is not much in the way of success. Considering I think their stocks are still dropping. Um, and China's not liking their movies, but I'm gonna end up dating this video by the time I'm done. Um, and so one of the things we want to look at a little more is okay, how about the heart of Mother Teresa? To be able to do good for people is something that is as in itself is it's really they say it's its own reward. I know it's a little cliche, but it's very true. It kind of is its own reward to be able to help other people, whether it's obtaining their goals or just helping them when they're in it. Everybody hits a tight bind once in a while. um so with that at the moment, oh no, my buttons. um I have a wow. Doo-doo-doo. So I mean, yes, I have noticed. But I mean, if you think about it, okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 different people. It's trying to be 8 different people. That doesn't sound like that's really success to me. Um, which I haven't found it success. Not that I've actually tried to be 8 different people at once. Um, but just trying to be all that. So success isn't necessarily those things. Um, I have had people tell me, success is being able to pick up your phone and dial and hit a million, be able to talk to a millionaire who'd pick up the phone that time of night, regardless. I've been also told that, in your business, I've been in sales, if you've got haters who are millionaires hating on you, then obviously you're doing something right, which again, would be considered success. Not that I'm out there and I would encourage everybody to go out and find millionaires to get to dislike you. That's not the brightest idea to do, and I wouldn't recommend it for one of your goals. So, um, kind of like with that, uh, I'd like to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy schedules. I hope you have an opportunity to come back and that you might be able to find yourself um, being successful, whether you're a 1099 employee and other kind of entrepreneur, self-employed, or have a brick and mortar store. So with that, I hope you all have a very nice evening, and I hope to see you again soon. Peace.